Okay. The song I chose for my music appreciation speech is Paul Revere by Kahan. The song matters to me because it talks about growing up in a small town, feeling stuck and trying to figure out who you are. These are things that I feel and many others feel my age feel. The three main points that I will be focusing on are the background and inspiration behind the song, the lyrics and why it references Paul Revere, and lastly, why I personally connect to it. So my first bullet point is Paul Revere comes from the album Stick Season. It was released back in 2022 by Kahan. The album became extremely popular because many listeners related to its focus on growing up in a rural area and feeling emotionally stuck between childhood and adulthood. Kahan grew up in Stafford, Vermont, a very small town with a population of only a few thousand people. According to an interview with Billboard, he explained that his songwriting reflects the complicated feeling people have toward their hometown, loving it but also feeling limited by it. He also described this as small town guilt, meaning you feel bad if you leave, but also feel trapped if you stay. The album titled Stick Season refers to a real time of year in northern states. It happens after the leaves fall, but before snow covers the ground, when the trees are bare and everything looks gray and empty. Kahan uses that season as a metaphor for a stage of life, the period after childhood comfort, but before adult stability. You're not who you used to be, but you don't know who you're becoming yet. According to another interview with Billboard, Kahan stated that many songs on his album, including Paul Revere, focus on mental health, identity, and friendships changing after high school. Instead of telling one specific story, the song represents a universal experience, watching life move forward while you feel unsure about your next step. Understanding that background makes the song easier to interpret because it's not just about a place, it's about a phase of life where everything feels uncertain. The title references Paul Revere, who historically warned people that change and danger are coming. In the song, the idea becomes symbolic, not about war, but about adulthood arriving whether you're ready or not. Throughout the lyrics, Kahan describes friends staying in the same routines while time moving forward. He talks about people working the same jobs, hanging out in the same places, and repeating the same habits. But that repetition makes the listener feel stuck, like life is paused even though the years aren't. The Paul Revere idea works as a wake-up call. Instead of shouting that the British are coming, the message is basically your future is coming, responsibilities, adulthood, and change. Another important theme is guilt. The song suggests that when you grow up in a small town, you feel guilty if you leave, but you also feel trapped if you stay. So no matter what choice you make, it feels wrong. That conflict shows up in the tone of the lyrics. They're reflective rather than angry, almost like someone thinking out loud late at night. There is also a strong sense of nostalgia. The song doesn't insult the hometown, instead it shows affection for it, while still admitting it can hold people back. That balance makes the message realistic. He's not saying that the town is bad, he's saying growing up is complicated. According to lyric interpretation on Genius, the song represents the fear that life is happening around you while you're still trying to figure yourself out. So Paul Revere becomes a metaphorical alarm, not warning people to run away, but warning them they eventually have to move forward. Because of that, the lyrics feel less like a story and more like realization. You don't notice you're growing up. You don't realize you're growing up until suddenly you have. My favorite lyric in the whole song is at the very end when Kahan sings, "If I could leave, I would have already left," in Paul Revere. This line stands out to me because it captures the feeling of being emotionally tied to a place even when parts of you want something different. It's not that leaving is impossible, it's that the connections, memories, and relationships make it complicated. I relate to that a lot right now in my life. I sometimes feel like I'm expected to stay in my small town because of all the bonds I built and the people who count on me. There are moments when I wish I hadn't made such strong connections because then leaving wouldn't feel so heavy or guilt-filled. That lyric perfectly expresses the conflict between wanting growth and feeling loyal to the place and people who shaped you. It makes the song feel personal, not just to Kahan, but to anyone who has felt stuck between comfort and change. What makes Paul Revere especially meaningful to me is how accurately it captures this moment in life, the space between being a kid and becoming an adult. Right now, everything feels transitional. We're finishing high school and making decisions about college and careers, and realizing that the people we see every day might not always be part of our daily lives. That's a strange feeling. You grow up assuming things will stay the same, the same friends, same town, same routines, and then suddenly you realize they won't. When I hear the song, it reminds me that growing up doesn't happen in one big dramatic moment. It happens quietly. It's the last first day of school, the last home game, the last time everyone is together without responsibilities pulling them in different directions. The song reflects that quiet realization. I also connect to the pressure it describes. There's this expectation that by this age you're supposed to know who you are and where you're going, but honestly most people are still figuring it out. The song feels comforting because it doesn't pretend to have all the answers. It admits confusion, it admits fear, and shows that uncertainty is normal. Another reason why I relate to it is the idea of hometown identity. Whether someone stays or leaves, there is always a part of you shaped by where you grew up. The song doesn't reject that, it accepts it. That balance makes it feel realistic instead of dramatic. Overall, Paul Revere feels like a reminder that it's okay to be in in-between stages. You don't have to have everything mapped out yet. Change can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary. And hearing that expressed through music makes the transition feel less isolating. Thanks for listening.